The year is 1978. Elvis is dead, hip-hop and punk rock were coming together like two unruly children, and a little film called Halloween was about to change horror and cinema forever. Directed by John Carpenter and written by Carpenter and Deborah Hill, Halloween would go on to break all kinds of records at the box office, and it showed independent filmmakers that with a very limited budget, you too could have a very successful film. Thus began the modern era of horror. But one of those independent filmmakers was a dude named Sean S. Cunningham. His idea was to take Halloween's formula and cement it as the template for future slasher films. His take on it would be called Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th would of course make bank at the box office, so a sequel was immediately greenlit.
And that's the film we're tackling today, Friday the 13th, Part 2.
The first sequel to the Friday the 13th franchise picks up 3 months later after the original's ending, with the first appearance of a grown-up Jason Voorhees stalking the last survivor of Part 1, Alice. While heading to the final girl's final abode, we see a shot of Jason's feet. And speaking of girls, even though there are two different actors playing Jason in this movie, the first time we see the future horror icon, he is actually played by a woman. Costume designer Ellen Lauder. Inside the apartment, we get caught up with Alice, played by Adrienne King, who has the task of catching the audience up with the events of the last movie via a nightmare cliche. If you are not familiar with F-13 lore, don't fret because they play almost the entire ending of the last movie. After ripping off yet another and better movie's ending, Alice wakes up and goes to wash her face.
Look, Mom, please, it's getting late and I really
Alice
don't
gets a
want to
call
get
from
into
her
it.
own mother, and after she explains her frame of mind, she hangs up.
Bye.
All that exposition would make anybody hungry, so Alice heads to the fridge and gets a snack. And then what the fuck? She keeps her bagels in the fridge? No. That will only make them moldy and stale. Alice sees Mrs. Voorhees' head in the fridge just chilling. And before we could get another flashback sequence, Jason pulls a screwdriver through her head. This starts perhaps the most notorious killing spree in cinema history. Now, before we keep going, I want to say that I think it's quite telling that they used the Itsy Bitsy Spider as the first song we hear when we see the movie. If you really think about it, Jason is sort of like the Itsy Bitsy Spider of horror. You think about it, that's exactly Jason's plight. The Itsy Bitsy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. Come on! Jump cut to 5 whole years where a whole new cast of future victims is trying to get the newly reopened camp up and running. Camp Crystal Lake. This group of upcoming casualties are Paul, Ted, played by Stu Charno, Jeff and Sandra, the gross couple, Scott, the douchebag, Mark, the guy in the wheelchair, and Vicky, the girl who wants to have sex with the guy in the wheelchair. Oh, and who can forget? We got Muffin, the dog, who totally makes it to the end. Overall, the whole cast is better than the previous movie. That's not their fault, that's the writing and directing, though there are some notable standouts.
He wasn't a very good swimmer.
But, besides Mrs. Voorhees, Ginny, played of course by Amy Steele, is Friday the 13th's first great character. If you could call any of these characters great, it'd be her.
Use a little of that child psychology.
The camp's child psychologist, Ginny was an independent, outgoing, intelligent woman. She was the exact opposite of what everybody was trying to be at the time.
It's more fun using that child psychology on you. You're such a sucker.
She was a total smartass. Now, the writer of the first movie, Victor Miller, has admitted that he basically took Psycho's premise and flipped the mother and son's role. Because of this, a lot of people have speculated that Jason Voorhees' love for his mother might be a bit questionable. They suggest that they're acting on some sort of Oedipus complex. Those people are, of course, super gross.
If you look deep into his psyche, you would see a fragile, scared little boy who is only acting out of anger and misplaced fear out of the love and affection of a mother he knows. What the fuck is this? What? Dude, what?
Really?
What? Dude, I'm just trying to get into the character's head. Yeah. Yeah. How's the jokes coming? Yeah, I'm working on it. Right now. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance to find romance.
Yeah, so go ahead. Alright. Freud is stupid. Go on.
Oedipus? Look, I've already screwed my mom enough just by being born. That's what you're coming with? I'll warm up in a second.
Whatever, back to this. Later in the campfire, Paul tells the story of Jason's origin, which we've heard 10 minutes ago.
His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned. And if you listen to the old timers in town, they'll tell you he's still out there. Some sort of demented creature.
There's no way these people don't know the legend of Jason Voorhees. I mean, they only told it to us 37 times in this film alone. So while the kids are trying to get the camp set up, Jason takes out the only police officer, assuring that the group of 5 young corpses are left to their own devices. But can we take a second to discuss Jason's crib? This 1-bedroom, 1-bath, cozy shack would catch the eye of any backwards, simple, lunatic, murdering hillbilly. Rustic, but with modern amenities, it offers great views of Camp Crystal Lake.
We're gonna need the Property Brothers to come up in this bitch.
So now the counselors got no one to help them, but I don't care about a dying cop.
Take it easy.
The only death that could even come close to being called a tragedy in part 2, the only one I care about, is Crazy Ralph's. The local screwball who warns the kids about impending doom.
You're all doomed.
Of course, he's ignored, but this motherfucker Jason just kills him for sport. He's trying to get the camp to not open, Jason. Anyway, the next night they go to a bar. It is at this bar that Ginny dives into diagnosing Jason.
What if there is a Jason? No, what if there is some kind of boy or beast running around Camp Crystal Lake? What would he be like today? Some kind of out-of-control psychopath? All I ever knew him was his mother. He never went to school, so he never had any friends. I mean, she was everything to him.
That's so deep.
Would have even known the meaning of death. Or at least until that horrible night. He must have seen the whole thing happen. He must have seen his mother get killed. And all just because she loved him. I mean, isn't that what her revenge was all about? Her sense of loss? Her rage at what she thought happened?
Now, if you really think about it, Jason is the first real victim of all of these horrific events that took place. An abused, mentally unstable child who is also hydrophobic and hydrophilic, who would long to— What the fuck? There are many people over the years who claim to be the father of Jason Voorhees. But if you ask me, in my opinion, this man is Jason Voorhees' father, Tom Savini.
Savini, along with Rick Baker, Rob Bottin, and Stan Winston, would revolutionize special makeup effects. Initially, Stan Winston was supposed to be brought into the makeup, but due to scheduling conflicts, he had to step down, and the job was given to Steve Kershaw. You know what? Let's talk about the deaths. Okay, so nobody thought the first Friday was gonna be any kind of success like it was. So by the time the sequel came around, people were starting to get pissed about the first one's blood and gore. So the second one kinda had to tone it down a bit. Some campers don't even get killed at all. With this film being restricted by prying eyes, the film does achieve some pretty cool murders.
I've seen many movies. We've had a film for like a millennia. Alright, so you guys need to catch up. You guys might want to look back into some other classics, which this movie does because it rips off every goddamn horror movie before it. Yet another ripoff, this time of Mario Bava's Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Maybe it's a coincidence. Are you kidding? Okay, fine.
I know they're not really looking for a threesome, so Jason just comes in and gives him just the tip.
Boo, get out of here. It's not so easy, is it? But without a doubt, the greatest death in part 2 goes to Mark. Let me set this up properly for you. Mark is in a wheelchair. All he does is mope around even though Vicky's clearly interested in making him have a good time.
Hey, you saying?
Yeah, nothing spoils a party faster than a drunk in a wheelchair.
That's crap. Look, we can go together if you want. I only want your fingers.
What?
Take your pick.
Hey, who do you prefer?
The one with the puck.
What do you want to play for?
Position.
Can we get a glass of water? Damn, Vicky thirsty.
What does the winner get?
What does the winner want?
Guess.
Mark finally agrees to let the chick make him happy, and he doesn't want to walk away from a good time. Mainly because he can't. And that's what makes this kill so unique. The sheer ruthlessness, the heartlessness and viciousness of the killer.
Vicky?
He's one cold motherfucker. Jason doesn't like the way Mark rolls, so he just hits him in the face with a cleaver. This kill crescendos with a face-cleavered Mark rolling down the stairs backwards in his wheelchair in the rain. It's an impressive stunt. And speaking of which, let's talk about this movie's Jason. Warrington Gillette is often credited as Jason Voorhees, even though he only did the window jumping scene. So, Steve Daskowitz is, to me, the Jason Voorhees of this film. He's still off-putting, but he maintains sort of a vulnerability. Very childlike. He's not stoic or godlike Jason yet. This is perhaps the most human of all the Jasons. Besides that, the Jason on this flick is a far cry from what he would become. But his appearance is still unnerving and maybe even creepier. Wearing blue overalls and a dirty plaid shirt, Jason's attire is stopped by wearing a burlap sack with one hole for seeing this over his head. Inspired by the town that dreaded sundown. Anyway, Jason isn't here to win a fashion contest, even though I would love to see that. He's here to kill motherfuckers. And the score of the film really sells that. You got the music? You got the music?
He has it.
Then go get it.
Ugh. You want me to go all the way down there?
Yeah.
Fine. Where's my caduceus? Hey, what are you doing? Hey. What's up? What's going on? What are you doing? Listen. Listen. Do you have the music? Alright. What? No, not our music. The music for the film. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Thank you. What? What? Listen. Get your mind together. Work with me. The music for the film. We're taping right now. These people are waiting. We don't want to waste their time. Thank you. I'll see you later.
The music by Harry Manfredini fits the tone of the movie perfectly. A standout track particularly being Who's at the Door, which starts out a bit scary, but as it progresses, it gives you a sense of ease and it tries to calm you down. With everyone but Ginny and Paul dead, you know the movie's about to end. So, let's cut to the chase scene. Ginny ventures into Jay's house and discovers Mrs. Voorhees' head about to catch on fire. This is where Ginny's child psychology expertise comes into place. As she starts to move around the house, she takes Mrs. Voorhees' sweater and puts it on and pretends to be Pamela Voorhees. This is ridiculous.
It's all done, Jason. You've done your job well, and Mommy is pleased.
Jason, because he's a dumbass, believes that his decapitated mom is still alive, so Ginny makes quick work of him.
Now come to Mommy. Come on. Mommy has
a reward for you.
Sadly, this is Betsy Palmer's last appearance in a Friday the 13th movie.
Rest in peace, Mrs. Voorhees.
You know what? I could suspend my disbelief and buy that a mentally challenged person like Jason could believe that's his mom. But what I won't believe is that these motherfuckers got into that cabin and didn't immediately grab a set of car keys and get the hell out of Dodge. Aww. You know they're setting up the Carrie ending, but Manfredini plays with your emotions beautifully, and it puts your mind at ease, and it drives your soul into a safe space. And then, BAM! What? What the hell is going on in this movie? What the, you know what? I don't even care. But if that fucking head blinks, I'm stopping this review. Oh wait, the movie's over. I have to stop it. Alright, fine.
So that was Friday the 13th Part 2. An important film because it introduced an adult Jason Voorhees to the world, and it cemented the legacy of this franchise moving forward into a money-making machine. Now, we haven't had a Friday the 13th in almost 15 years now, which is fucking bullshit. And there's not one person to blame. Wrong, white man. Checkmate.
Double check.
No, you're right. This asshole is definitely to blame. But hopefully, with Halloween's 2018 success,
And
it will
kills.
inspire them to start writing on a new Friday the 13th movie. I just think it's funny that it is Halloween again.
Well, hoping.
The one that might be responsible for yet another Friday the 13th coming into existence, which the universe has a funny way of working out like that. Anyways, I'm Loki. I had fun reviewing this film. Don't get too comfortable not seeing me, because this motherfucker's taking over my channel. And I'm back, baby. I'm back like your motherfucking spinal cord. Subscribe, like, do whatever the hell you want. This is 6 Cinema. That's Luciano. And we'll see you next time. Stay sick. Bye. Oh, come here, muffin.